Hi again, and welcome to the Bloom Show, brought to you by Above All Flowers and New Bloom Solutions. I am Sahib Naheem, your host. The Bloom Show's intention is to help the flower industry innovate, connect, and bloom by connecting us to experts, innovators, and flower industry leaders and decision makers, so we could all learn. As I've always said, and I was talking to my next guest, with information we could all make better decisions. It really feels like I haven't been on the show for a while since I was in Holland. What an amazing experience. I recommend it for everybody to go. There's a lot of insight once you go to Holland, but let's get that conversation. And today we have Blake Bussie, I'll get it right here, social media and digital manager for WFFSA. And I wanted to bring Blake on to talk about a particular topic. And what that topic is vlogging, right? A vlog could be something that you do on Instagram. A vlog could be something that you do on YouTube. A vlog can even be a pre-recorded interview, or even yourself explaining your thoughts about something. And I really want to continue to encourage people to do vlogs, as we've seen throughout the last year, many vlogs coming out. And I'll give a shout out to the Fat Guys, right? Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers. That's a podcast, but it's out there. I'll give a shout out also to the Flower Click. So there's many different ones that are happening at the moment, but how do you do it? And how do you get inspired to do it? So now I'm going to bring on my buddy, Blake Bussie, which he started basically from not knowing what to do and started a great little show for WFFSA. And that has added value to everybody watching. So I wanted him and I to get together and talk as peers and just share our information. Again, I really, truly want to encourage everybody to ask questions, chime in, gave Blake a Bussie a shout out, give him, you could even just him and pick on him a little bit, but have fun, because this show is for the community, is for the flower industry, and we do what we do with passion. So help me invite Mr. Blake Bussie. Blake, I saw you bobbing your head to the music. I appreciate that. If anybody was watching behind the scenes, Blake was just going to the beat.
I love that little intro. I was like, okay, having a party.
So Blake, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining our audience. It really feels like I haven't done this in a minute since I've been traveling, but thank you for joining us today. Truly appreciate it, Blake. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
Awesome, Blake. So Blake, I want to talk and dive in. First, I want you to explain who you are and what do you do for WFFSA?
Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm Blake Bussie. I am the social media and digital manager for WFFSA. And I've been with WFFSA for about a little over 2 years now. Got 2 conferences under my belt. I take care of all of our content creation, social media management, website creation management, anything digital. It's all me. So thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I feel like a celebrity on the show.
you look like one with that scarf. You told me that was Burberry, right?
That's not Burberry. Woo, Lord, I wish, but no.
So let's dive in. Explain to me, how did you start? Who inspired you? What was that like aha moment to start the vlog? And then how did you get all the jitters out? You know, because it's a nerve-wracking, man, to do this. So how did you get the jitters out, and how did you get started?
Yeah, great question. So started about like a year ago, actually, just about now. And
by the way, Ricardo Yaramillo says Blake is the best.
Thanks I see it. Oh, that's awesome. He's great. He's one of my first guests on my show, actually.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, started about a year ago. And, when the flower movement really started to unfold, I just, really loved that Gabriel Becerra, he was the past president for WFFSA, had this idea to kind of, really bring the flower industry together in a different kind of way. And I thought the best way to kind of not only promote the campaign, but to actually get everyone involved and like foster community was to, go to social media. So that's kind of where I got the inspiration. I mean, Gabriel has been doing so much to help kind of drive this force. But it really was him that kind of gave me that, that courage to go forward and actually do it. Obviously, like I like to do personal stuff in my own time when it comes to, video, but no, I was like, let me go ahead and just, formulate just a little itty bitty strategy and just start asking people, hey, do you want to talk to me for a quick 30 minutes?
And so and I told you I'm going to ask you questions inside of questions, so what is a little bitty strategy that you did? Because when you say that, people might think something huge. Oh my God, I can't do it. I can't even think about it. I don't have the time, et cetera, et cetera. What is that itty bitty strategy? How simple can that be?
Oh my God, yeah. So initially I immediately took to, the logistics of it all because, I want this to work, technologically. So that's kind of what my first plan was, is like, what kind of platforms do I want to use? What platforms do I want to stream on? Is this going to be like a paid thing? Like, do I need to invest a little bit into this? And at the end of the day, I did end up investing, a couple dollars a month, but found that, after some trial and error, like I just switched up my strategy and how I went about, communicating with people on my blog. So honestly, it was just a technological version, and then there was also the why, like why come and talk to me? Why talk about the flower movement? Why is this campaign essential to the community? Stuff like that. That I wanted to bring in the why and make sure my questions were very, not pointed, but they were relevant and relevant to those individuals. So that way they felt comfortable talking about, their experiences and their businesses and what they've done in their communities. Just giving people a platform just to share. So that was my little itty bitty strategy. It wasn't like this whole formulated, plan where I had a spreadsheet and, no, it was a Microsoft Word document that I had put in a couple of tables. So
cool.
It was
and that's what I'm trying to get across, is that it could be very simple to start with, right?
Yeah.
And then you start integrating the more details, the sophistication of the channel, of an intro, et cetera, et cetera. But really to be able to just go and say, okay, I'm going to have a show once a week, and I'm going to pick this type of person, and these are the type of questions I'm going to cater to the person, is as simple as that, right? Like,
yes, absolutely.
And then how did you get past the cobweb? So how would you inspire someone to say, I'm not a good speaker, or it's bad for me, I have anxiety, or I don't have the time? What's some inspiration and some tips that you can give somebody to understand that it's pretty dang simple to do it? It just takes a little bit of guts.
Yeah, it's just kind of breaking through those doubts and concerns, and just doing it honestly. Just figuring out, well, what is it that's really going to stop me from, doing something of this caliber, and just exit out. Like I honestly thought, like, okay, a couple of things that might come against me is maybe, we're pulling people from our members, and we're not connecting with people who aren't members, or maybe I need to focus and hone in on people who are wholesalers, and maybe go towards more of the growers. So, you think about like all that stuff in your head, and then you think, well, at the end of the day, like, it's not supposed to be like that, because this is just community service. Honestly, like, we just want to connect the community in ways that we never have before, and we all have the same goal when it comes to flowers, is to put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
So I really just kind of took away the what could have gone wrong and just went in and did it. You just have to shake the nerves, you got to shake the anxiety. I mean, it's not so easy to just say to do it, but like, if you're not the person to do it, maybe someone else on your team can. If you don't know how to organize it, maybe look to others to see how they can, help you in your journey. Because I know, like, some people don't know exactly where to get the information from. I mean, watching you doing what you do, I'm sure you've inspired so many people to go on and hop on and do their own blog and vlog, because you just take that and say, oh, like, that's really all it is. It's just, I'm coming on here, I'm having a cute, calm chat with, somebody, in the same space as me. And we're just, really talking about the benefit and love of flowers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the simplicity. You said something earlier, which was community, right?
Yeah.
Tell us how this has helped WFFSA build or grow the existing community through your vlog that you've been doing through. And tell us about that. Then I have another question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's great because, I feel like the organization as a whole is less concerned with being competitors. I think we are a lot more of a supportive system, and that we can work together to try to do things that you never thought you could do before,
Yeah.
So obviously we have a bunch of distributors, under our helm, and I feel like they might feel like, oh, this doesn't seem like the place to go because they are doing it too, or it's like, no, we got to take away the business of it all and just kind of know that we're all here again to do the same thing. And so I think it kind of almost triggered people in a way, like, oh, like, that's true, we all have one common goal, and that's to be together and stop putting up walls and bridges and just start being together in the same pool. Like, it's a great to see, like, how many people, even when we had our we had like networking roundtables, and you were even there when we did the oh God, what was it, when we were the speed networking, because you really got to speak to a lot of people that you really didn't think you'd speak to, and it's really nice just to have that, to foster that, like you said, community.
And I think that's the importance, as you said, that others will say, oh, but they're already doing this, but your voice is unique, right? Everybody's
Absolutely.
voice, everybody's story, everybody's experience is unique. Yeah. So we hope that today, I myself hope this is to inspire, if you want to call them more competitors, but I don't compare. I believe that's a state of mind.
Yes.
But in all reality, inspire more people to take this on. There has been amazing people, like two fat guys doing flowers. That's not an insult. Talking flowers. That's not an insult. I promise. That's the name of it. Two fat guys talking flowers. That's from Jet Fresh. So that's an example of people just going. And not to mention, huge shout out. I forgot the name, but they're doing weather updates now. Jet Fresh is doing weather updates on a weekly basis. Check them out on their Instagram. Amazing project, amazing initiative, and amazing innovation. So great shout out to Mike. Oh, I didn't know he was watching. He just said yes. Mike, what's the name of it's Weather with Corey or Case? Who was it? Weather with whom? Amazing idea, amazing angle. Shout out, just great shout out. But that's an example of what people could do in a different way that's similar, but adding so much value. Mike, what's the name of the show? It's Weather with whom? With Casey or Case, something like that. Casey Kasem. I don't know if you remember that person. But so Blake, tell me, Weather with Connor. He's a student. Great.
Weather with Connor.
So, Weather with Connor. So amazing idea, amazing concept that they took, and just to give us a shout out, we're working on some pretty amazing concepts next year as well. So I know Mike will be watching. But yeah, Weather with Connor, they hit it on the nail. But let's get past it. Now, tell me about your biggest mistake while you've been doing the vlog. What's the biggest mistake, and how did you learn from it?
My biggest mistake? I'd have to say, technologically is probably where I had my biggest mistakes, because I can't tell you how many times I might have entered a live and we have audio issues, or our Wi-Fi got out. My Wi-Fi went out like I think twice. When I was talking to two separate people, and then one time I even had to reschedule a live because we were going and then I was like, okay. I was like, it's not happening, so we'll just reschedule and we'll come back, and it is what it is. So those are sometimes uncontrolled mistakes that you can't do anything in those situations sometimes, except if you want to pay and flush out for a bunch of Wi-Fi, that you could do that too. But no, like, mistakes are absolutely bound to happen, and honestly, the best way to go about it is go with the flow and know that, like, there is always room to grow in each situation, and learn something from those mistakes, because that's absolutely what I did in those circumstances. Even using, like, I used to use Restream. And
I was about to ask the platforms
yeah.
that you're using. Cool.
Yeah, Restream was like nice to an extent, but sometimes it wouldn't stream live on one platform and then it did on the others. It's just a couple of things you just realize. You're like, oh, like, testing is probably important, and and making sure that all the information is relayed properly to your guests, that as well. So yeah, mistakes they're gonna come tumbling down for sure, but it should not. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're 100% right, and it should not hinder you from continuing to go. Right?
Yes.
I don't know if you ever find perfection, but you will find something close to it when you're doing these shows, because you are going to have a last minute. I've had where my green screen's not working well because of lighting, and as you said, it's roll with the punches and continue going.
Exactly.
Just roll with the punches and continue going, and show that it's an authentic show, and we're doing this. Question for you: what platform are you using now?
So I'm only using Instagram, because I really, I felt that I didn't really need to, restream on other platforms. Plus, I wasn't really getting the return I saw. I didn't like the return on other platforms. So, because really, when you do your vlog, you're not always going to feel, prompted to use every single, platform, because sometimes your audience isn't always there, and sometimes timing is different on each one. So sometimes people feel like they could watch a stream maybe at 8:00 at night on Twitter, or maybe they can watch a live stream on LinkedIn at 7 a.m. in the morning. It's different for everybody. But I think that timing is really important, and figuring out what platforms are most essential for your organization, business, whatever it may be. That's gonna be a trial and error situation. Like, you're gonna just kind of figure it out as you go along. But yeah, right now I just use Instagram. Just using the app. It's so much easier to do. And then I just take the video and then I reshare it on any other platform we may have and add it to the website, et cetera, et cetera.
So just to share with everybody, how are you taking that video and resharing it?
So what I use is like an Instagram download feature, because you can't really, they don't like let you do that. So unless it's a reel. So I just download it straight to my computer, and then I upload it on YouTube, and then I either embed it with YouTube or I share the link to YouTube. You can also even use the Instagram link, and you can just go to Instagram.com and pull up your profile, and you can share that link. That works too. There's a myriad of ways that you can reshare.
And there's a couple apps. There's a couple apps that I use. It's called Regram and Repost or Regram Post. So
yes,
there's 2 or 3 of them that you could use, and it's fairly easy. You click on the hamburger, it says download link. It'll put it on your phone and download, and then from there you could post it somewhere else, right?
Absolutely, yeah. If you want the raw video,
Exactly. So,
Absolutely.
so it's very easy to do. So that means that if you go live on Instagram, then use Regram, let's say, to download that, and then you could go ahead and post it on YouTube, or you could send it on an email to your customers with a link. There's many different things that you could do as well. We actually post it on our website, so we have a link that we've connected our YouTube channel to our website. So all of our YouTube streams, you could say, are auto populated. So
Yes.
you could do that too, because it's going to help you with
Fantastic.
content and Google SEO, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really going to help you a lot.
Yes.
Cool. Any other tips? Any other tips when it comes to anything? Any other tips when it comes to vlogging?
Yeah, I think another tip would, aside from like the technological things and, finding the voice, is really important in what you're doing, because I think everyone can just hop on and you have to have this like crazy personality and you have to like do all these, things to like get attention. And I think the most authentic you and the most truthful you is going to really garnish, the actual awareness that you want. Because yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. Like you're the guest. Go ahead.
It's going to garnish the awareness you want. It's essential to really find that voice, that tone that you want to exude, and just do it. I think that people think you have to have some sort of star factor or something. I just don't think that's needed. And some people might be the most introverted of introverts and then come on and do a show and be like, whoa, like that was incredible. The information was amazing, and I loved that this was personable, and that I got so much information out of it. That's really important, is to just find your tone and be your most authentic self.
So I have to give you credit on something, and this is why I respect you, is because you only have 2 years of experience in the flower industry and you jumped in, right? And people will judge that sometimes and say, oh, but he doesn't have many years of experience. But that comes to show that as long as you're being authentic and you're listening from the experts and bringing on the right audience, you could be successful. Right.
Yeah.
So I do take my hat off for you, is in your courage of saying, hey, let me jump in there and highlight the industry. Doesn't matter, I only have 2 years of experience. Let me highlight the experts in the flower industry and give them an audience. And that's what I encourage others to do as well. It's not about you, right? It's not about you. It's really about giving a voice to people in the industry and adding value to your customers.
Absolutely. And yeah, because the guests really make it what it is, because they're and because I mean, honestly, I could say I know the foundation of the flower business, but I'm not there. Like I work for a nonprofit organization, so I'm not doing what they're doing. I'm not seeing what they're seeing. They're going to be the ones to really provide all of the information and and any context that I'm not able to provide. Me and you are just like, we're there as like moderators. We're there as people to help bring those people together, bring everybody to a platform where we can share and provide any details and important information that they may need to know. We're just kind of like a piece of the puzzle, but I mean, they're going to be the ones to complete it.
Exactly. And they're the most important, is the guests that you bring on. So my question as well is, what do you do to market your vlog? What do you do to market that Instagram moment that you're coming on? How are you marketing your show?
Yeah, so I just I haven't done anything probably like super crazy, but I do like to use obviously email marketing is really important. So I make sure that we send at least like 1 or 2 emails like before I go live. I'm always pushing on social media and resharing. Want to make sure you're resharing your own material. On stories. Stories are really big right now, so really utilizing, graphics for stories, and then utilizing others to really kind of push the envelope there. So I know I reach out to like our WFSA board and our executives, and to like kind of help, push out the word to their contacts as well. So, not everybody's going to feel comfortable doing that, and that's okay. But, you do have those few who are like, yes, I want to do that. I want to make sure I put this in, our newsletter. I want to make sure I promote this on social for you. And, I think, really getting help is not a bad thing. Like if you need help to really push your vlog and to promote, you can utilize the community, utilize those contacts.
100%. And I think it's about, and you helped us, right? You were posting on Instagram, you were posting on LinkedIn. And I think that only helps the person coming on for their audience to watch and hear from a third party, not just from them, hear from someone that's asking a question and being authentic to it. So that's very important for people like us when we're creating these vlogs, that we do get the support of the member or the guest coming on, because it's only going to add benefit to both parties, right?
For sure.
So it's only going to add best benefits to just post it once on your Instagram and let them know that you're going to come on the show, or send out an email letting them know, and there you get the best results, and you have your audience listening to you for 20 minutes,
right.
for 30 minutes, so I think that's very important to, one, as a vlogger, to give them the materials, just as you saw the process that we do, is give them materials in advance. And two, as a guest, share those materials so that you're just improving your experience on the show.
Yeah, I'm a really big believer in marketing collateral and toolkits. Those are great, for really spreading the word via others,
Exactly.
Because we can only do so much. We only have so much of a reach. So, when you share a story and then other people are forwarding that to others and, sharing that on their pages, that's key. That's how you garnish, your impressions and engagement,
And another tip, and you're right, people feel uncomfortable. I'm not sure why sometimes, but let's say you talk to somebody and it's a great conversation, right? And it was something about the issues happening in X place and how it's going to affect the industry. Wholesalers, distributors, and growers, I would encourage them to share that with their audience. I've been approached, I imagine as you've been approached many, many, many times, and saying, thank you so much for the thing that you did in Ecuador, for example. Thank you so much for what you did here. Why? Because it gave that wholesaler, it gave that distributor power almost. It gave them a voice to tell their customer, look what's happening in Ecuador. And for that wholesaler, Mike has done this for us as well. And other wholesalers have done this. For those wholesalers to have this material and share it and not be afraid, you're not going to bring us more business. It's almost a tool for them to share with their audience, because gosh only knows, and Mike, you could attest to this, when someone's saying, you're telling them, sorry, we're having a hailstorm here in Ecuador, they're not going to believe you. But if they hear it from someone else, they might believe it, so
exactly
sharing and dropping that guard and saying, this is valuable information, let's share it. It's only going to help everybody involved, and it's only going to continue to inspire us. Right, Blake? And we could use a little info.
Absolutely.
We could all use a little info. So Blake, how is that flower movement going, man?
Flower movement's going. I have been communicating with a few guests, so I'm really excited for what's to come for the for WFSA's flower movement lives, because we're going to really now that we have like a year of the flower movement under our belt and Flower Movement Awareness Week has happened. I think it has. I don't think it's impacted people in a way like pedal it forward, but or that flower feeling. Like I feel like I'm behind when it comes to that. But and then so eventually I do want to work up to garnishing that awareness from the community, to know like, oh yeah, I know the flower movement. That's kind of like really what's important, is that I keep consistency going and keep that content flowing, and make sure people don't forget about the flower movement, because it happens 365 days a year. Like, it is not just something that happens during our conference or just during, awareness week, we want to make sure that it is constantly being pushed, and everyone, knows that this is a campaign that you can take any initiative at any point in time. So so I got some lives coming. We're actually going to be doing something at the Floral Distribution Conference next year in Miami. So which is the first time we'll have done a community service activity at the conference. So I'm really excited, for that. So we're going to be working with a couple different members to put that together. We just want to make sure none of the flowers really go to waste. And, we are, I mean, you did so great last year, just taking, the leftover flowers from the booths and the exhibits and just putting them on people's doorsteps. Like that's what it's all about. That's what really, that's all you have to do. That's all we have to say. There's nothing else to do except just share that moment, with flowers. So we're a lot of great things coming. Really excited to see how the flower movement evolves going forward.
And again, what I did is no big deal, and it's so easy to do.
Yeah.
So you would encourage people to continue to do it and just share the value of what giving flowers is. We're in an amazing industry. We're in the industry of making people happy, right? From birth to death, we affect people's lives in a special way, or we comfort people. So once you figure that out, then it's not a job anymore.
Exactly. It just happens.
Once you get there, it's like, whoa, all right, I'm seeing this,
Yeah.
So Blake, what do we have forward? And I know these are like the surprise questions, but what do we have forward to look for and experience at WFFSA 2000? And I can't believe I'm saying it's 23.
Yeah. What happened to the year? Because it's like December basically. Like I don't care. Thanksgiving's next week, guys. 2023. For the Floral Distribution Conference. So it's going to be very similar to last year's model. So we're going to be doing, our roundtable still. We're going to bring back speed networking. We still want to foster that community and make sure that business is actually happening and getting done, and you're networking and you're actually talking to people you never thought you talked to, do business with people you never thought you do business with. So we're still doing that. Like I said before, we're going to do community service. We're going to do an activity there. So we're going to have a really special event planned for that. And then we're going to have a lot more educational sessions. So that's really exciting.
Nice.
And then, of course, the tabletop exhibits. And that is always the highlight, of course, of the show in general. Or maybe it's the party. I don't know. We'll have a party too. So we're having a party. And what's so crazy is that WFFSA is actually doing amazing, when it comes to a financial level. So, members have been flowing in and people have been so supportive. So we're going to be able to do things, more things than we've ever done. I can't disclose it all, but, it's really exciting, going into the next year. So we can really provide as much resources and growth in the industry as possible.
Any way we can help spread the word, let us know. We're here, and our resources are here to help you as well. Yeah. And thank you. And I know I told you Molly Mullins approved the 3rd annual Bloom Together after party. Super excited about that. Last year we had over 200 people. So this year I believe that we're gonna do well, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes.
So thank you for supporting that as well, David Kaplan. Let me see. David is saying, I'm looking forward to WFFSA and the New Bloom and Above All Flower party. Yeah. It's called the Bloom Together After Party, and that's for a reason, because we could all bloom together. Yeah. And it's a sign of what collaboration could really do by coming together, investing a small piece, and we do a big event to show our collaboration within community. So Blake, now to some fun questions so people get to know you in more personal level. I know you weren't prepared for this, and I'm going to ask you real fast and real in there so you can answer truthfully or falsely. But first, dog, cat, or plant?
Plant.
Plant. What's your favorite food?
Oh my God, what a question. I mean, anything dessert.
Anything dessert. What's your favorite music?
Oh yeah, right now I'm really into like, Latin pop and K-pop.
Wow, okay. Latin pop and
I
K-pop. That's pretty
love
cool.
them. Love.
What was your first job?
Oh, okay. My first job was in college. Yeah, I worked in the Office of Diversity Affairs in the College
Right.
of Business.
Yeah.
So I was just like a little administrative, assistant, and I got to mentor students of color, and it was cool. It was a nice little gig.
And who's one person that's inspired you the most in the flower industry?
Oh my God, inspired me the most.
Or who inspires you, we could say.
Man. Is it weird that I say you? Is it weird?
It's weird that you say that. It's a little. There has to be someone else in Wilson that you worked with.
Yeah.
But thank you for that. Thank you for that,
Yeah.
for even thinking about that. That's an honor. It's not weird. That would be nice, but
Sahid,
I'm humble
probably.
enough to say it too.
I mean, professionally, definitely like you. I mean, Dominique, obviously. I've really got to know like a few members as well that are amazing. Speaking to Guillermo was incredible. Ricardo was incredible. Speaking to like Corinne Heck, love her. And then of course Molly Alton Mullins is incredible. She giving me the opportunity to be with WFFSA at all. So it's and I could go on and on. You can't just give me one person.
You got it. You got it.
You can't.
What's your favorite? You just can't do it. What's your favorite flower?
Yeah, I remember you asked me this. You could rate up on me, and I was like, oh, like I don't really have a favorite flower, but because I'm like more seasonal. So like right now, it's like chrysanthemums, like because it's like the chrysanthemum season. So I really love those right now. But no, yeah, I mean, there's so many different flowers, and it's hard to just pick one because as the seasons flow, though, like I tend to navigate towards, a certain flower specifically. But right now, it's chrysanthemums.
Blake, I want to say thank you very much for your time. Thank you for sharing your insight, for helping create new competitors, which is a beautiful thing. We want to inspire more people to do more blogs, to jump on Instagram. Share your words, share your insight. Any final words to the audience?
No, just, really just jump into it, everybody. Like, do not be afraid to just go out and just, start your own vlog, to start your own, a campaign. It's doable. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be anything. As long as, the word, if the word is where it's at, then that's where you need to be.
So we do have breaking news. Breaking news. Will Blake accept an invite to be a guest on our podcast? Mike Black, Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, is going to have Blake Bussie on the show.
Come on, three fat guys.
Three fat guys talking flowers. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But you gotta go there, because you have to be there. Not that you have to, but they serve you a little glass of maybe you do it in March. They serve you a little glass of scotch. It's nice. It's fancy, man. It's fancy.
That sounds amazing. No, I would love to, Mike. That's amazing.
Mike says yes. So Mike is excited as well. And this is a great example of what the Bloom Show's intentions are, is to connect people. I have great stories. One day I'll sit down to share with you the stories of what the Bloom Show and how it's connected people. And that's truly my passion. Right now, I'm happy that just happened. It was very simple. Mike could have made a phone call, but it happened on the show. So it was, as you kind of alluded to, it's a medium for communication.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a great example. Thanks, Mike, for giving us the first the scoop.
Thank you, Mike.
There you go, Blake. So,
honored.
You're on your second show now, and you're on your way to your way to stardom.
I guess so. Kind of crazy.
That's fun. All right, Mike. Sorry. Blake, thank you again for your time on the show. Truly appreciate it, man. And thank you guys for always supporting our Bloom show and anything we do, and especially supporting the Bloom Together after party.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, sir.
Zahid.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna put you in the green room while I say goodbye. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, buddy.
So everybody, as I always say, that was awesome, and I'm never lying. Every guest I have on the show is special in their own way, and every guest in the show adds value to our community. So we really hope that you learned something today from Blake and myself when it comes to just dive right in. If you need any information on how to do a vlog, either Google it or Google us, meaning reach out to us. And I know Blake would be open book to take a couple minutes of his time to share with you his best practices, and I will certainly do the same. I am very excited about our next show. Let me show you this real quick. From the people whom experienced that. So please make again, it's going to be a fun, laid back experience of talking to these great guys and hopefully connecting them, right? Hopefully connecting them so that they can all talk on the same level and really enjoy their own company. And that's truly what we want to bring. And that's going to be our way to start off the holiday and kind of end our year, as that will be one of our last shows of the year. We're going to have one special show in December. It will really be one of our bigger panels that we're really excited to show up to bring to you. So again, thank you so much. See you November 22nd, I believe. Thank you to Blake for joining us, and thank you for everybody that joined us. And don't forget, if this is valuable information, share it with your audience, and also don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow if you enjoyed the content. Take care.